Well, Blade Gang, we're back with folders again after kind of a run of fixed blades from various sources. I would say most of you watch this channel because you're looking for or at folding knives. But in due respect to those of you who are looking for fixed blades as well, then hopefully you're seeing some satisfaction both ways. At any rate, I've got a Dirk Pinkerton design for you today from none other than B'Yond EDC. B'Yond EDC, if you haven't grabbed any of these, makes a wicked budget knife. They also make a wicked mid-tier or mid-price $150 range and a wicked $300 range or so knife. So this is their basic B'Yond EDC line, and this is the Slim. That's the best name I could find for it. I've also seen it referred to as a Slim Flipper. It is a $60 knife, which I picked up from White Mountain Knives, and you can get 10% off if you use my discount code OLDSWORD. That would make this $54. And for $54, you get 14C28N, and you get a nicely appointed budget level. I'm going to call 60 bucks budget level. You may be waiting for under 50 to be calling it budget, but yeah, that's certainly, whatever your budget is, I guess, is what makes it a budget knife. Some people call a $150 knife a budget knife if they're buying $400, $500, and $600 knives. Anyway, we've got virtually everything we're looking for here in this knife. B'Yond EDC makes a knife that, look at that, right out of the box, drop shut smooth on bearings, a classic Wharncliffe blade from Dirk. No variations this time. We've got that gradual hump, just like the original Wharncliffe, very, very close, if nothing else. Green micarta on this also comes in a tan micarta. Only the green micarta was and is available on White Mountain. We've got liners that are weight relieved. They are a relatively medium thickness liner. I'm going to be showing you a knife in a day or two. It's got a little thicker liners and goes for a few bucks more, also by B'Yond EDC. But there's B'Yond EDC's logo. We've got T8s, tested it, and as I said, deep carry, and it's switchable. And we've got a relieved, no, it's not relieved, it's actually slightly raised little hump there for the clip. But we've got flat-headed screws, and it is a thing of beauty. Slides in and out of the pocket. Just enough texture there to give you a grip. It's not shiny at all. It's your typical, we call it a linen micarta. Really nice, effective jimping that works. If you're one of those people that likes to lay the thumb all the way across the back of the blade, you're not going to be disappointed with this. No choil, but we've got a little platform here that you could use as a choil, or a forward placement for the finger. Some don't like to call it a choil. Some feel that the word choil doesn't belong on knives, so it's more of a sword thing, right? Straight, neutral handle. So should you want to go point down, edge in, Pical method, very easy with this. A beautiful radiused pommel to cap your thumb over. No problem whatsoever. Very comfortable. We've got a little relief cut out here and a chamfer on the liner lock. It just is so smooth, and yet rock solid in the open position. You wouldn't think it with it being that smooth. I mean, almost loose. I'm sure you could tighten it up a little bit if you didn't want it this drop shutty, but a lot of us like it that way. Flipper tab is about medium. I wouldn't call it standing too tall. It's certainly no nub either. It's got jimping on it. Fires every time. No other method to open this knife. We might be able to, you might be able to finger flick it. There's not much for your thumb or your middle finger to grab onto. But let's do some measurements. It is not a small knife by any means. We've got 8 3/4 inches overall, and we've got a blade that is like 3 7/8 with a cutting edge of about 365. Very nice. Blade stock in millimeters, 3.2. Blade stock in inches, 0.12. And a handle thickness, 0.55. Believe me, it doesn't feel thick. Feels thin, actually. And a weight. It's a pretty light and well-balanced knife for its size. What do we got? How about 4.55 ounces? Pretty nice, I would say, again, for the size. And yes, let me get the flashlight out. There is your weight relieving. We've got 4 slots, well, 2 circles and 2 rectangles, and a little circle near the end of the pommel there on, and oh, some circles there too. So it's pretty heavily weight relieved. They do a really nice finishing job for this price point. And if you're looking for this style blade, you like Wharncliffes, you like straight edges, this is a perfectly straight edge. Comes through pretty sharp, high flat grind. That's right, not hollow. Little bit of a flat near the top, but it's about 3/4 of a grind up flat. And a decent thickness out near the tip. So this guy can do a beautiful job EDC and cutting chores, point work. At the same time, it's got that elongated Wharncliffe point where it can be a stabber too. It can be a thruster. Beautifully done. Dirk loves his Wharncliffes. He certainly does. And I'm going to show you a few more. Here is one that's still in the prototype phase. This is his latest model and version. I believe the OEM for this is not decided yet. This, I believe, is a Shieldon. But look at that similarity, will you? If you forget about the wave opening feature, look at those 2 blades. Isn't that pretty much identical except a shorter blade and a little bit of recurve in here on this inversion Pical. Shorter knife overall. Then we have, that's B'Yond, I don't know if that's going to be B'Yond EDC. Like I said, we don't know. Here is the Ruffian, CJRB, an artisan company. Smaller yet. And that's an interesting Wharncliffe style blade with a raised edge where that point now falls closer to the center of the knife. All pretty much in the budget realm. I believe this is going to be a budget knife, and there's going to be, there are plans to turn this out in titanium and either S35VN or maybe even M390, I'm not sure. But I would say the bargain of them all this past year has been the Night Horse. This was a special, it still is a special, from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, $29. And I would say, and it's made by B'Yond EDC, I would say that we've got all the same quality here in a larger knife with double thumb studs. I'd say the quality is pretty much identical to this B'Yond EDC slim flipper. Just a whole different profile and type of knife. This is fashioned after the Spanish Navaja knife, Spanish fighting knife. And if you're looking for a large knife with about a 4.5-inch blade that is crazy drop shut and super quality, this is it. The whole feel, fit, and finish of these two knives is identical. So if you have the Night Horse, why this is coming in more dollars, probably because it's marketed directly by B'Yond EDC and not through being a special by Smoky Mountain. That could be the thing, but it's still not an expensive knife, especially with the 10% discount, bringing it down to about $54. But that $30 for the Night Horse is just, that's crazy unheard of. And if you want that knife in a fancier one, you can get it in titanium and S35VN for $100.50. So if you don't know about the Night Horse yet, I would definitely grab one while they're still available. This, however, a little more manageable size, great carry. Again, full deep carry clip, flathead screws. Got sort of a kind of a bead blasted clip, which I like. I do not like those shiny clips. And they did the same thing on the Night Horse. It's not a shiny clip. In fact, the blade's shinier than the clip in both these cases. So if we were to compare this to regular old Griptilian, it's definitely a longer knife by about almost 3/4 of an inch. If we were to compare it to the usually a large Rat 1 from Ontario, we get the same exact size. How about that? So, Rat 1 size knife, the B'Yond EDC Slim, nice balance right about there. So a little bit behind that finger groove is your balance, making it feel really lively. So for any sort of cutting chores, for your knife tactics, this is really one to grab while you still can. I'm not saying they're going away, but haven't seen it in too many places. Might be out there on Knife Center, might be out there on Blade HQ. As of today, still available at White Mountain Knives. So check them out. I'll leave you the link. And I'll also leave you my discount code. Be well, take care. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't. You'll be notified when new videos drop, and you'll be the first one to see them and say, hey, I'm first when you comment. Take care. Be well.